Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Grace Huang and I am part of this year's Missions Committee 2015. You are watching this video because you are a prayer partner for one of the 2015 short-termers that are participating in missions this year. Thank you so much for covering your short-termer during missions prep and while they've been on field. However, once your short-termer returns, please do not disappear. When they return, it is a very crucial season known as re-entry. What is re-entry? A common misconception is that missions begins with training and ends as soon as the plane touches back on the home tarmac. Fortunately, missions goes far beyond the prep and the trip itself, but also into the readjustment period after returning from the trip. This is the reentry period. Why is this fortunate? Because the reentry period is as strong a crux of missions as both prep and the trip itself. You don't want to bake the cake, take it out of the oven, and then not eat it. In reentry, pre-field and on-field convictions can be solidified. God's glory can be farther magnified in proclamation, and what scratched the primary layer of spiritual soil can now take root and bear fruit, both for the individual and the church. Also, character can be refined, sometimes somewhat painfully, but the fruit is nice in hindsight, and these are just a glimpse of what can happen during reentry. But the flip side exists too. Because there is great treasure to be had, the thief, our enemy of our spiritual warfare, will always be on the prowl, especially during re-entry. He knows us better than we know ourselves. Oftentimes in missions, and especially during re-entry, character flaws perhaps unrevealed up until now will be exposed. Instead of it becoming a stumbling block, we pray instead for humility, healing, and conquering. Sometimes the struggle culminating in a difficult re-entry is not preventable, but refinement is not to be prevented. As such, your role as a sender is to support and go with whatever God is doing in a person's life. And each person's life will be vastly different because each person is created uniquely. As such, there is no steps 1 through 10 to having a good re-entry, but there are basic concepts and may each year show God's creativity in each person's life. As a prayer partner, your involvement is super crucial to this time of re-entry. Technically, the short-termer may trust you more than they trust the missions committee. You are the committee's front line in terms of healing, rescue, and intelligence unit. If you don't feel equipped to deal with the negative side effects of re-entry, you can always feel free to escalate it back to the committee. However, we do need your help in order to follow up individually with each short-termer and to make sure that they are growing as best as they can during the re-entry process. There are a couple basic concepts as previously mentioned. Like I said, it's not over, so please don't just drop out of the picture. Please give your short-termer multiple opportunities to share and to follow up. Be considerate that they might also feel different than before and not as close to you as before. Make sure that they feel that they are in a safe place to have changed into the person that they are. Help them with their follow-up ministry. They need to stay accountable to the missional heart that God has given them. Help them get plugged into ministries in church where they can continue to live out missionally. For example, OTR, because they've been to the School of Evangelism, they could get involved in things like SET or Treehouse or maybe even something like the PTA. Or they could even faithfully start a group to support those that are overseas or in the different areas that they are, such as leading prayer times for them or sending out different updates. The point is to help the local church become more and more missions-oriented, not legalistically, not forcefully, but as a goal. Depending on each person, the re-entry period could be anywhere from weeks to months. The missions committee would like to ask for your committed re-entry help for 1 month after your short-termer returns. Attached is a short document with other things to keep in mind as you're talking to your short-termer. Please review it, and if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to contact me via email. The missions committee will be in touch with you shortly. Thanks again for all of your help, and we look forward to sharing in the fruit together.